are joined by Eagles running back Will Shipley.
Will,
how was it today, man? Looked like a hot one out there today.
Yeah, it was awesome. You know, it was definitely one of those days that grows that callus a little bit, but I really appreciate y'all having me on.
You know what, Will? We're just going to jump right into it, man. I think that as a running back that you have great field vision. But, dog, when we going to work on that breakaway speed, dog? When is that coming?
Yeah, you know, it's coming for sure. There's no doubt. You know, there's a lot of different parts of the game that I got to continue to work on, and you know, there's no doubt that I got my head down and I'm doing it.
No, you know what's funny, though? I like the way you run because, like I said, when you hit the hole, you hit the hole. Is it more so just getting you? Because you had a long run the other night. Is it just you? Is it one of those things where you just have to get used to running that far?
Yeah, you know, I really never had a problem with it. You know, I would say, I'm guessing you're talking about, the NFC Championship run against the Commanders. And, you know, you look back to it, I played a full game, and I can't tell you the last time that I had run 60 yards like that, which is 100% on me. I take full responsibility for that, no doubt about it. You know, so just being in a position where I can learn from that experience and to be ready for that. So now throughout practice on my last rep, you know, I can boom, I can burst. Yeah, exactly.
Take it to the house.
So just getting those experiences, they'll definitely humble you. But at the end of the day, I've just got a growth mindset. So I learn from, and then, you know, the preseason game against the Bengals, boom, boom. Tyler Steen does a great job, opens it up. Han, you know, gets the guy on the outside. I make a cut, but it's not exactly vertical, right? I'm still kind of etching towards the sideline. So then when I go to make my move, I got 4 less yards than I normally would have to work with. So I feel like I got to stiff arm him, and then he grabs that hand. If I don't throw that stiff arm, if I get vertical straight out of that cut, then
it's a wrap.
Exactly, right? So, you know, I think people that watch it could say, you know, you ain't got the – I'm very confident in my speed, and I got no doubt about it.
You got it. It's
just that, you know,
it's them angles, man.
Exactly. And yeah, like I said, I got a growth mindset. So I'm looking forward to the next opportunities and, you know, being able to capitalize on them.
Well, for the record, that's you. I think you have the breakaway speed.
Well, you know, I told you, like, but see, to be honest with, because I was on here talking trash when you weren't here, and so, you know, to keep my street cred, I got to talk about it.
My ears were hot.
You know what I mean? I got to keep street cred.
Well, going into this season, though, because you're in line for a bigger role this year, Kenny Gainwell leaves in the offseason. Do you approach things any differently, knowing that you're probably going to get more playing time, being that main guy to kind of spell Saquon during games?
You know, I would say the preparation is very similar, but the mindset has got to change a little bit, and it has. You know, just being a 4-core guy last year, really taking you know, a lot of pride in my special teams play. You know, the punt unit, just really every unit, and being able to still take pride in that stuff, but also understanding that I've got to get myself ready to step in and make the most of my opportunities and help the offense win as well. You know, whenever that opportunity presents itself. So, you know, last year I definitely tried to prepare as if I was the starter. You know, that's something I hung my hat on, and a slogan that I kind of ran off of last year. But the mindset is definitely different going into this year, and just making sure I'm mentally, physically, spiritually ready to go.
Yeah, and one of the things with you, Will, is you're multi-dimensional in terms of running, receiving, did a lot of that at Clemson as well. Any guys you kind of modeled your game after coming up?
You know, I would say it's really a handful of different guys. Different guys that I watched growing up, you know, and not even like big-time NFL guys, big-time NFL names, you know, like Elijah Hood from Charlotte Catholic, had a little stint in the league for the Carolina Panthers, played at UNC. You know, I grew up watching him play high school football. And, you know, just different guys over the years that I watched and, you know, was able to get in contact with, and, yeah, just kind of a little bit of everybody.
What was it like being in the meeting room with the likes of Saquon Barkley? And what did you learn from him?
Yeah, you learn something every day from him, and he's a special cat. There's no doubt about it. On the field, off the field, as a role model, just who he is. They say you don't want to meet your heroes, but I say he debunks that theory 100% of the time. Because that's just who he is. In the weight room, in the film room, I mean, you can learn something from him every day. So continuing to have that growth mindset and just appreciate where God has put me, and being able to learn from him and from AJ and Coach Singleton as well, just how much they've helped me grow within the last year, and some change that I've been here has been really, really huge for me.
I'm kind of curious because, seeing what Saquon was able to do last year and being in the meeting room with him and everything and being in the weight room with him, has it made you change the way you work out a little bit? Have you started to do a little bit more squats or hit the treadmill a little bit more? How's your workout changed?
Yeah, I think there's beauty in God's creation, and God created everybody different. But at the same time, he pushes you. He pushes you to be competitive. So, I could say I squatted more this off season than I have since my sophomore year of college. That's solely because of him. You know. Yeah. He definitely pushes me to be competitive. But at the same time, I know that I'm a different back. I'm a different person than him, and I've got different strengths and abilities. So I've got to let those shine, while, like I said, just also being able to pick up anything from him that I possibly can.
Eagles running back Will Shipley joining us now after Eagles practice today. And obviously, Will, the talent on this offense is pretty ridiculous. You got Saquon, obviously, the receivers on the outside, Jalen at quarterback. But this offensive line, obviously, that's a running back's best friend. What's it like running behind those guys with all the talent you guys have up front?
Yeah, it's really a blessing. First of all, you just look at them. I get in the huddle and I'm like, holy cow. Yeah, some big-ass dudes, right? No doubt about it. And, also just the way that they communicate, with the running back and help us out with what they're thinking and ask what we're thinking and what we're seeing. It's just a total teamwork. So, it's been a pleasure getting to work with those guys, and, can really see just how much they've helped me grow as well.
Yeah, and Will, obviously you went to big school in Clemson, and obviously that's kind of like a theme with this team. A lot of guys from Bama, Georgia. How does playing at a program like that help prepare you for playing at the big stage in the NFL?
I think that it's just the growth and the preparation, and, being able to go into those stadiums on Saturdays and seeing, 80+ thousand people. Playing in the link, as awesome as it is, it doesn't take you aback. Your eyes don't get too big. It's what you've been doing. You've had those experiences before. So, having Coach Swinney, a coach like that at a top-tier program is also such a huge deal, and what he instills in you, right when you step on campus your freshman year, it's how can you be a pro at the college level? Because, if you come here, that's where you want to go. And, I was very straightforward with him. When I came to Clemson, that's what I wanted to do. So he holds you to that standard, and it definitely pays its dividends for sure.
And just one more for you, Will. You mentioned Coach Dabo there. Dabo Swinney, Nick Sirianni. How would you compare the two of those guys?
Yeah, I don't even think you could compare them because they're both so great. It's almost like, Michael Jordan versus LeBron James. Yeah, you have an opinion, but at the end of the day, you just got to admire and appreciate what they're able to do at their respective eras, levels, the whole nine. So Coach Swinney and what he's done with that Clemson program ever since he became the head guy is truly incredible. I stay in touch with him, and I'm excited for what they got going this year. Gonna kick some LSU Tigers' butt coming up here in the next couple of weeks. And then Coach Sirianni, he does such a great job, just like Coach Swinney, of really setting a foundation, setting a culture. Making sure that you're not only playing for yourself, but you're playing for your teammates and your coaches and really just the whole organization. So if I had to compare them, that's the similarity that I would say they both have in common, is just really, really good at setting that culture.
Well, Will Shipley, Eagles running back, should be in for a big role this year. Will, thanks so much for hopping on with us today, man.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys.
I appreciate it. Good luck
Thanks
this year, Will.